Well, hello and welcome to Jammin Jukebox radio show. How is everyone tonight? This is your DJ Delta Dawn, right here with you. And, man, it is Wednesday, hump day. Some people are celebrating Juneteenth. I've been seeing that all day. And so whatever you've done today, I hope that it's been a phenomenal day. You've had a great day. And it's a great day for us because tonight I'm so excited about our guest. I've been listening to her music ever since I got it in my hands. Love it. I love a good dance song anyway. And our guest tonight, she is a singer-songwriter. She, infuses pop with a lot of different sounds. Love her sound. And I tell you, summer is here. And this is the kind of music that you could hear easily in any club across this country out there playing. It's that good. And I want to introduce to you now our special guest this evening, holly-elle. Hello, Holly.
Hello. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm fantastic.
Awesome. Well, I just want to say thank you so much for being with us this evening and giving us a little bit of your time. As I was saying in the intro there, I love your music. It is awesome and great sound, and your voice. My gosh, your voice is beautiful. You really do have a range, and it really showcases on the music that you have put out.
Well, thank you so much. I'm glad you like it, and thanks for having me here today.
You're welcome. So I kind of want to start a little bit at the beginning and get a little bit of a backstory on you for the listeners. As I understand it, you're a classically trained singer. I mean, and so that would explain why your voice is just off the chain, on this music. But I mean, how did you start out as a classically trained singer, but yet you kind of turned to pop as your niche?
Well, I've always loved all types of music. Growing up, I had a chance to listen to, many genres across many eras, thanks to my parents and my two older brothers. And so I always loved pop music. And but there was a little opera sprinkled in there along the way because my dad would take me to the opera when I was growing up and musicals. And so it was, across the board, I just loved all music. And then it was when about a year before it was time to decide where I was going to go for college, I didn't know what I wanted to do at all, and all I knew for sure was that, I loved music above everything else. And at the time, you couldn't really go and do a commercial voice degree, so I thought, I guess I'll just go and do classical. So I spent about a year just cramming, and I learned piano, and I took, extra voice lessons, and did everything I needed to do and auditioned for opera school and got in and did that for 5 years, and that's how I became classically trained.
Oh, wow. So obviously it sounds like music has just been a part of you and in your blood from day one almost. And
yes.
And so was there ever any doubt in your mind that this is what you would eventually do, is pursue music?
No, not at all. And I'm lucky to have the kind of parents. A lot of people's parents, when you say you want to do music, they'll say, "Okay, what's your backup plan?" But my parents were always very supportive, and all that they asked was that they wanted us to go to college. So when it was time to go to university, I said, "Well, I guess I have to go to music school."
Well, that's awesome. Now, talk a little bit about the style of music, because you've been exposed to so many different types of music. And how did you kind of arrive at this pop, dance sound that you've got? It's really good, by the way.
Thank you so much. Well, I don't know. I always say that a pop song is, it's called popular music for a reason. It's, accessible and something that's catchy and that everybody can kind of relate to. And so that's what I consider pop music. And I think under that umbrella, you can have leaning towards rock or R&B or dance or whatever. And so I love to play around in all those kind of subgenres under that. But I consider any good song that kind of crosses over, like you'll see country songs cross over, or even sometimes classical, like Andrea Bocelli, or just those songs that touch people and that they remember, is a pop song to me. So pop can mean so many things.
Yeah, and that's true. And the great thing about you and your talent is that you are not boxed into one niche or one genre.
And I love
music.
that.
I mean, you could do a lot of different things, not only because of the fact that you're vocally trained and classically trained. I mean, I think when someone has that background, it kind of really does open them up to a whole lot of other areas that otherwise they may not have. And you've got the ability, which is really unique, to do, I mean, if you want to go off and do country one week, you can, or if you want to do rock one album. I mean, you've got such a diversity about your style. And the great thing about that, which I love, is that for someone like me who's a music fan, if I buy your album, I'm going to get a lot of stuff. You know, it's you know, and it never gets boring, and that's awesome. That's really
that's what I try and do. So I'm glad it's coming through. I hate labels or boxing people in life and in music, and so I just never want to feel like I have to do one kind of thing. So I've even had people that review the album, sometimes they'll say from one EP to the next, they're like, she's going that direction, she's going this direction. And I'm thinking, no, I'm always doing the same thing, which is everything. You know, I push it as far as I can in terms of, you know, you can't go too crazy. I couldn't turn around and be totally country the next day. I mean, I'd like to because it would be fun, but, you know, people can't really handle that. They want you to stay in your lane. But I feel like nowadays people are able to kind of genre hop a little more than they were before, and that's really good news for me.
Well, it is, and, you know, even though people kind of have their expectations of artists, it is nice and it's refreshing to have someone like you on the scene now that can do a lot of different things, because, you know, mainstream music has become so rote and so, you know, there's no originality in it much anymore, and so that's the thing that I love about indie music, and music like what you put out, because you can really hear your heart and soul in it. And there's nothing that's manufactured via computer, you know, programming board or anything like that. It's all real. And I think that's what people are missing from music. You know, it's such a universal language as it is.
Mhm. Definitely. I think the most important part is conveying something that's, you know, whatever I'm feeling at the time or a friend of mine has told me about or whatever is going on in current events, to try and infuse that into the music. And I think if you're doing that authentically, however that comes out musically is going to reach people and touch them just by virtue of the fact that it means something to you and, you know, it's really important to you and you mean it. I think people hear that.
Oh, yeah, definitely. So, you know, you've obviously had a lot of exposure to a lot of different types of music and genres and artists. But who do you consider to be some of your influences?
Well, I always say my top two are the Beatles and Mariah Carey. I love them above all else. You know, Lennon and McCartney as a songwriting team, and just the way that they changed pop music over such a long-spanning career, and Mariah Carey, just like the success that she's had, and, you know, she's a lyricist as well. Those are my top two for sure, but I have a huge range of the influences are all over the place. Those are my top, though.
Well, and that's good. I mean, because even though you have influences, your music is your music. I mean, it's holly-elle. I mean, when I'm listening to your music, I'm hearing holly-elle. I'm not hearing, you know, those influences, but yet it's really neat that you've got so much to draw from to make your music what it is. That's really cool.
Thank you. I'm so glad that comes through. It took me a long time to find my voice. It's not so easy, but once you do, you're like, oh, thank goodness. I know who I am now.
Yeah, I know. And, you know, a lot of artists tell me that that's kind of one of their biggest struggles is finding the voice, you know, and a lot of them will kind of go down different paths and realize real quick that it's not the right one to be on musically, and they'll kind of keep working at it till they find it. But I understand that is I understand that's like the biggest relief for an artist when they can finally find their place, you know, of what they're trying to put out, and it works for them perfectly. So, well, when you're writing, I mean, what is your writing style? Because I know artists have all kinds of creative ways that they go about it, and I always like to ask this question because every answer is different. How do you go about writing music?
Well, for me, it's actually not the same every time. I live here in Nashville, so sometimes I'll write in a room with some co-writers, and, you know, somebody has an acoustic guitar, and it's a lot like the process for writing a country song would be. And other times I'm writing more like people seem to write in LA, which is you'll have a track that a producer's made to write to, and you're kind of writing the top line to that, the lyric and melody afterwards. And then sometimes I wake up at 4 in the morning and I'm hearing everything in my head at once, the lyrics and the melody, and I just write it down or sing it into my phone and come up with the music and chords to go along with it later. It really just depends.
Yeah. And, I've had artists tell me that not only it's really hard sometimes for them to just sit down and write. And do you often find that most of the stuff that you write kind of comes to you and then you're able to just sit down and do it? Or when you have a set time to sit down and do it, is it hard for you to kind of get the ball rolling?
I find that, a lot of people here in Nashville, the songwriters here are very scheduled, and so it's like, every weekday I'm going to write, at 10 o'clock, and I have to get a song done, or they may write even 2 or 3 times a day. I've never been able to do that. I can't have it that scheduled. I like to wait for the inspiration to come, and so when I wasn't doing it, as professionally, like a few years ago, I would only write whenever the inspiration hit. Now that I'm, continuing to release music and I want to keep, moving forward and growing and giving people more stuff, I'm a little more regimented, but not to the point where I force myself to write every day. So I'll wait for it usually, but, when I know I'm going to release an album, I'll say, okay, I'll give myself kind of loose deadlines, and then somehow magically the music seems to appear. I don't know how I do it, but for the last, 2 EPs, I've thought, well, I'm going to release it at this time, because everyone sort of has to prepare for it, and I'm like, oh, I hope I'll get it done, and somehow it works out. I don't know. It's kind of amazing how it works out that way.
Yeah, and it sounds like you handle it very well, because I know, in some cases, some artists, that can put so much pressure on an artist, especially, it kind of suffocates their creative genius, so to speak, when they know they're under those deadlines, and it's really hard to kind of... It's all about balance.
That's what's nice about being an indie artist is I'm giving myself the deadline, so I think I feel more like I can control it. Like if it really came down to it and we didn't, because when I've worked on the last 2 EPs with a production and writing company called Zod Lounge here in Nashville, and both times we've kind of said, hey, let's write and, try and, get it for this time, but we're not going to release the songs unless they come in they're good songs. It just so happened we lucked out that the last 2 times we did get songs that, I felt were good enough to put on the EP. But if I didn't, then I would just say, oh, well, I'll give myself more time. So it's a balance of both. It's nice. There's nobody telling me you must have this in by this time or else. So, I just kind of give myself that so that I have some sort of working deadline.
Oh, yeah. And that's the great thing, I think, about indie music, is because, indie artists, they're not boxed in to this set of guidelines that, a record company is kind of shoving down their throat. And there's, the creativity in the indie music world is so vast and so large. I mean, the sky's pretty much the limit. And I love the fact that there are no limitations put on what you can do as an artist. It's really amazing.
It's so nice. It's so freeing.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, of course, it would always be nice to have the backing, the financial backing of a big major record label. But when you when you're weighing the pros and cons and you're thinking about all the creativity that you can possibly put into a project that otherwise might be stifled, if you're on a major record label, there are the good and bad in everything, as you know.
Exactly.
And you've collaborated with a lot of people, I'm sure, being in Nashville, but who are some people that you ideally would love to collaborate if you were given the chance?
Oh, my goodness, my list is so long. It would obviously be Paul McCartney. That would be my hugest dream come true ever, and or Mariah Carey, my 2 idols. And it spans so many genres. I think Nicki Minaj would be really fun, because I've done some sort of, I've done a little bit of kind of rapping, like in my last EP, but I wouldn't even call it rapping, so it would be really cool to have really any hip-hop artist like Kanye or, somebody that could come in and do a real rap instead of me just kind of pretending. That would be awesome.
Most definitely. And I know it's interesting that you mentioned Nicki Minaj, because it's been some time ago now, but I was doing another interview with an indie artist, and she just apparently frequents, Blog Talk Radio quite a bit. And she just called into the show to speak to my guest, and it was just not expected, and it was very surprising. And I mean, at first I was like, is this really you? And it was right on. It was before she took the American Idol stint before the season, and everything was getting ready to ramp up with that, and it was so amazing. I was like, wow, who knew? But yeah, I mean, I think that would be listening to your music. I mean, I could see you two collaborating on something.
Yeah, and when I was listening to her talk on American Idol, she was talking about, you can tell that she doesn't like it when they try and ask the people, what genre are you in? Are you going to be country? Are you going to be this? And you could tell that she gets upset by that. And I was thinking that's the same thing, I think, because people always try and ask you immediately, okay, what's your genre? What are you doing? What kind of artist are you going to be? What are you going to sing? And it can be stifling. I understand that you have to kind of pick a lane somewhat, but at the same time, you can't go too far with it. Some artists have to discover themselves, and it takes them a long time sometimes.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. And I think in your case, I mean, you've got a great career ahead of you because your music is so good, and it's really, like I was saying, at the top of the interview when I introduced you, I was like, you could hear your music in any dance club. And summer's here, it's really that good. And so let's talk a little bit about your music, because this album that you've got out right now, Leopardess. Talk a little bit about what went into make this album and how it all came together for you.
This is definitely my, kind of the merging of my independence I always say my life and my music parallel each other. So it's in my own life and in my music. I felt like now more than ever I've discovered, here's what I want, here's what I'm going to do. Yes, I'll still listen to other people's opinions, but I'm not leaning on them so much anymore. I was always looking, to someone else to tell me, is this good or is this what I should do? And now I'm just like, okay, whatever it is, I'm going to run with it. This is what I'm feeling. I'm going to put it out there and hope that it works. And it seems like people are liking this more than anything I've done. And I'm so proud of it because I've had so much more input on this record. And I went back to writing a couple songs on my own. There are 2 songs on there that I'm the only writer on. And I got my brother on there. We're my trusted writing partner, wrote the first single, Predator, with me, and the other 2 are with my Zod Lounge producers, who are awesome, and I'm just so proud of it. That's why I named it Leopardess, is the solitary female, independent female.
Yeah, and that's a great fit. I mean, for the songs on the album, I said, oh, gosh, what a great title for it. And I do love Predator, by the way. I mean, and I'm actually going to play that in the next few minutes. I really love it. It's a great dance thing. But I also have another favorite. I mean, all the songs, when I was listening, I was like, which one do I like the best? And it's hard to say I have a favorite, but one that I really like a lot is You Deserve a Song. When I listened to that for the first time, I was like, gosh, every woman or every young girl that's ever been wronged by a guy, this song is so for us, what an anthem. And I guess, artists have all kinds of stories behind the songs they write, and I was just curious, is there a backstory to that song in particular?
Well, I always say when I'm writing songs that I write them that there's 3 ways that they go. Either something happened exactly to me or a friend, and I'm recounting it, almost exactly as it happened in the song, or sometimes I made it up entirely. It's fictional. It's just for fun. I'm imagining a story, and most of the time it's a mix of the 2. So that's kind of what this is, I think it's kind of loosely based on 2 different guys where I felt like, I'm always writing songs about the guys where, you're heartbroken or you're angry. And I thought, I had actually had the title written down in my phone for a really long time because when I think of something like an idea like that, that was all the idea was I was thinking, you deserve a song. You're the kind of person who I should actually write a song for, someone who deserves it. And so I just put You Deserve a Song in my phone, and it was there probably for more than a year. I think I even tried to write it once with, because sometimes you get together with a co-writer and you say, hey, here's a title that I have. You want to work on this? And, we thought about writing that one, and it didn't work. And so I just had it in my back pocket for a really long time. And when it came to do a new project, I just kind of present, here's what I've been thinking, and we're finally able to hash that out, and I'm I'm proud of it. And a lot of people say that that's their favorite, and yeah. I think, you know, you could tell that there's that nugget of truth in there, that I was totally feeling that. I totally understand that situation, and that's why people can relate to it.
Well, I think a lot of people, you know, totally can relate to it, especially women who have been in this situation. I mean, even guys who have maybe been in the situation on the flip side of things. But it was really relatable. You know, I don't think there's anyone alive that, if they've ever been in a relationship that went south, that they haven't had this sort of feeling, you know, about it. So yeah, it was really well done, and I can see why so many people like it. I liked it myself. So as a matter of fact, when I was trying to decide, do I want to play Predator, or do I want to play this song? So if we have enough time, I may play them both. But it was just unreal. I was like, wow, this is so good. And so let's talk about upcoming plans. Are you going to be touring anywhere, or do you have new music in the works? What's going on?
Well, right now I'm planning a trip out to LA to try and meet with some more, because there's pop music here in Nashville, but it's nice to head out there every once in a while and, you know, get where the pop music is really cooking. So I'm going to go and do some writing there, just, you know, to have some songs for later, because I'm thinking new music maybe fall of this year. But I'm still working on promoting this Leopardess album, so I'm just focusing on that for now until I think at the end of July I'm going to head out to LA and do some writing, and those are my plans for now. And I do local shows here in town. I've been looking at possibly going out to Atlanta and doing some shows out there, but I think I'm going to have a few fundraising efforts out here for some local charities, but I don't have the dates hashed out yet. But sometime this summer, I'm going to be doing some shows in Nashville.
Awesome. I hope everyone out there heard that. If you're in the Nashville area, you need to check out holly-elle this summer. I wish I was closer to Nashville. I'm in North Carolina, which is not far. Tennessee is a neighboring state, but I would love to be able to get out to see you do a live show. I think it would be awesome.
Well, I'll head out there eventually. I've been thinking, you know, when the time comes to do some touring, I'll start with, you know, kind of just a radius around Nashville and branch out from there. So you'll be one of the first people that I come to see.
Oh, I would love that, and you know, I could take you to dinner or something too to make it worth your while. So definitely,
that'd be awesome.
Definitely keep me in mind.
Okay, now I'm coming for sure. I want free dinner.
You know you're coming for sure. That's right. Look, I love to eat, and we're in the South, so it's like,
me too.
You know, it's, you know how that is. I mean, it's Sweet Tea City and all the best country cooking you can get. So
I know, it's one of my favorite parts of living down here.
Oh, yeah, it's awesome. Well, I'm really excited about your music and absolutely love it, and I'm really excited to see what's going to happen in the fall when you put out some new stuff. I have no doubt it's going to be, I mean, if this is any indication of what I've heard already, the other stuff's going to be great. And so looking forward to that, and certainly we'll look forward to you coming to North Carolina in the very near future, hopefully, and can maybe get out to see your show. Oh, good. Well, I want to thank you so much for being our special guest this evening and just chatting about your music and how, you know, you got from where you were to where you are, and from a classically trained vocalist to now doing what you do, and apparently you are very passionate about it, and I just love that.
I am.
So thank you so very much for spending a little time with us this evening. We greatly appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Dawn. It was a lot of fun, and I'm glad you like the music so much. Jeez, you're getting me fired up.
Oh, yeah. And definitely, anytime you have anything new, we'd love to have you back to talk about it and to, you know, promote it and premiere it for the listeners here. So we're glad to help you in any way that we can.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
All right. Well, thanks so much. You have a great night and enjoy the rest of your week.
You too. Bye-bye.
All right. Thanks. Bye-bye. Hi, we've been chatting with holly-elle, and I'm telling you, when you hear her music in just a few minutes, you're going to absolutely fall in love with her. Her music is awesome, and so I think I'm going for broke. I'm going to play both songs because I want to give you a real taste of the diversity of her as an artist. I mean, you know, it's just amazing the talent that she has, and it really does come through in her music. And so I'm going to go ahead and play for you now a song which is probably my favorite, although it's hard to have a favorite when you have an artist that's good on an album. But I do like this song a lot, and this is her song, You Deserve a Song. Take a listen.
I met some real jerks who turned to boyfriends, then into angry words, nothing but ink in the end. They made for good songs, but at the time it sucked. It helped me stand strong, but now enough is enough. I'm tired of singing the same old tune, giving credit where it's not due.
Holly-elle, and You Deserve a Song. How did you like that? I love that. I love it. Love the groove, love the beat. It's just a great dance tune. Now, if you like that, you're going to love this next song. And this is definitely a great song. It's a great dance tune. I could see this in the club easily. And this is, I think, the track she's promoting the most off of her album, Leopardess. This is called Predator. Enjoy.
Money suit, alligator boots, you got
that was Predator from Miss Holly-elle off of her Leopardess CD. And if you want to follow Holly on Twitter, you can check her out at Here Holly. And also her website has the same name, Here Holly. And I would suggest going to her website. It's chock full of information, talks about her music. There's tons of pictures of her. She's a beautiful girl. I mean, she's got a lot going for her, and love that sound. And you will be hearing a lot of her music on our weekly radio show, Indie Artist Showcase, because she is definitely one of those indie artists that needs to be heard. So hope you enjoy this two numbers from her latest EP, and we again want to say a huge thank you to her for being our special guest this evening. We greatly appreciate it. And so coming up tomorrow night, let's see, do we have a show tomorrow night? Actually, we do. We've got a duo called Reason Speed. They're going to be with us 7 p.m. Eastern, so we hope that you can be here for with us for that. And if you're brand new to our program, thank you for stopping by and tuning in tonight. We greatly appreciate it. Welcome aboard. We hope that this will not be your last time with us. And for all you regular listeners out there who are so loyal and always are here listening, we greatly appreciate it and love you from the bottom of our hearts. So with that, I'm going to say good night and bid you all farewell until tomorrow evening. And hope that you'll be right back here. Until then, have a great evening and enjoy your day tomorrow. And we'll see you again real soon. Take care, all. Good night.
Thanks for listening to tonight's show. You can connect with Jammin Jukebox Radio Show on Twitter at Jammin Jukebox or on Facebook at Jammin Jukebox Radio Show. Check out our website at thejamminjukebox.com. Also, follow us on Blog Talk, where you will be always up to date on every episode as we add it. Each episode is available for immediate download upon the conclusion of each broadcast, and as always, on iTunes. Thank you for joining us. Tonight's show has been brought to you by One Taste of Main Street Cake Shop, baked from scratch, custom-made cakes and cupcakes, and you'll be hooked. Every cake is made to order with only the finest and freshest ingredients. This is no ordinary bakery. Cakes are never pre-made. Main Street Cake Shop is in demand, having provided cakes and cupcakes for numerous prestigious events, bridal fairs, and venues. Owned and operated by April Murray, she has garnered many awards for not only her exquisite cake designs, but also for their incredible taste. If you're looking for a cake for any occasion, or cupcakes in a variety of flavors, then Main Street Cake Shop is the place. Visit them on the web at mainstreetcakeshop.com.